Hey, it's Kevin from 3D Printed Props, and today we're going to be starting a video that takes me far out of my wheelhouse. We're going to start working on Starlord's pants. Okay, so today we are going to start working on Starlord's pants. After the helmet, I'm kind of going to do another 3D project in the next video. Starlord's boot jets are printing right now, but I thought let's take a break and try something a little different. Now, I've never used a sewing machine. I've never done really anything with fabric other than, you know, some glue. So this is going to be interesting. I found some pants on Amazon that have the nice ridges here. They were much darker online. They were like a wine color that I thought I could dye a little bit. I'm gonna try to dye these. I bought some brown, dark brown, and I'm assuming that because these are kind of reddish, the dark brown will turn like a wine color. We'll see. This might not work right off the bat. So we're going to have to dye these, and we've got some RIP dye to do that. Then the next thing we'll be doing is using some of this interfacing medium, and that's to give some depth to the pieces that we'll be adding on. And this is like an iron-on kind, so even if I can't get the sewing machine going, at least I will iron these on to hold them in place while I'm trying to do the stitching. But I've been dying to learn how to use a sewing machine. It's right over there, and we'll be trying that. And then lastly, I picked up some of this at the local fabric shop. It's just a brownish wine, right in the trash. Brown colored, sort of wineish cotton, so that it can be dyed. And I'll be using this to cut out the patterns, okay? And then putting them onto the pants. So we'll see if this is gonna work. But I'm pretty excited because, like I said, I've never done this before. I've never used a sewing machine. I actually have to sit down and watch some videos to see even how to use it. I've got it spooled up, but I'm not sure how to use it. So that's what we're gonna be doing next. Okay, so it's a little bit later in the day. I wanted to dye these just to see if it was going to work. I didn't want to do sewing to them and if it wasn't going to work. And yeah, I'm happy to say it's getting there. I'm going to dye them one more time anyway when I put the other material on. So I tell you, these look a lot better. They look a lot better. They're not weird candy apple red. The stitching must have been in a sort of a polyester because it's not dyeing. But I'm going to be weathering these up anyway, and it'll go away. So now what we're going to do is we're going to go over to the work area, which is literally, I'm touching it. So I don't want you to think this is a vast underground. I'm touching that black pad that we're always working. So yeah, let's start seeing if those templates fit, and then we're going to go over to the sewing machine. I've been practicing. That is not to say that this could still go horribly wrong, but let's see. Okay, so the first thing I did was I found a nice reference and I traced out all my patterns. I then cut them out in paper and sort of placed them to see how the sizing was. I ended up having to tweak some things a little bit, and these both are going to work out pretty well. The fly piece, of course, also worked out well. I probably could have made it a little bit longer, but I think that's going to work. Then next up, I tried these little side pieces, and I realized they were way too small for these pants, and I decided to get some poster board and sort of tweak the pattern and draw it pretty much on the pants so I would know, exactly what size I needed. And like everything, you always want to check out your references, because I still didn't have it quite right. Once I looked at the reference, I realized it needed to come out more and sort of almost be attached to the pocket. After I did that and I made the pattern, I went ahead and got my sort of backing material that is also it's like an iron-on, and I couldn't figure out how to lay it out on the page, but my wife has amazing spatial reference. There she is. And she was able to lay it out so I could use the entire sheet. And then we cut it out, and we trace our patterns on the fabric, and we cut out all our little pieces and parts. That was a lot of fun. This was a bit of a challenge, this entire project for me, because I've never really worked with fabric, and one of the mistakes I made was I cut the
interfacing here, this little white stuff, the same size as the cloth. So I had to chop that down. Then I realized I needed to glue the brown fabric to the backer so I could have a nice sort of flat seam. So if you're going to do this, make sure that your cloth pattern is a little bit bigger so you can fold it over easier. I used glue and it took me quite a while to make sure that was in there. Now I got the iron-on stuff because of my sewing skills. I wasn't sure if I was going to be able to pull it off, and I wanted to make sure I could iron them on to A, hold them in place for the sewing machine, and B, if I ended up not wanting to sew, keep them just like this. And this stuff worked out really well, and I was kind of happy with the pattern once I started laying it out on the pants. Now, fortunately and unfortunately, I do not have any video of me sewing this. It was not pretty. I did not know how to do this. It was way too intricate for me for a first sewing project. So we're going to skip right to putting the little black sort of strappy things on. You could see my sewing job. It's really, really crazy and rough, but again, I'm going to dye this fabric again and then weather it. And I'm just using a torch to sort of seal the ends, and then using this really good tack fabric glue to then glue the straps down. Now, once I have done that and I have gotten all the straps down, I'm going to go ahead and I'm just using some black acrylic with some burnt umber and some yellow and a little bit of orange, and I'm sort of painting the seams and painting my thread lines, my sew lines, because they're so horrible, and really just sort of mucking these pants up. Just to weather them. Now, I've seen other pants not really weathered so much, but again, this is where a little obfuscation using the stuff works out really well to make sure that you can hide all your mistakes.
All right, as you can see, the Starlord pants are done, and my sewing is absolutely horrible. So what I did was I really weathered these things, so you really wouldn't be able to tell that the sewing was horrible. All in all, I think it looks pretty good. It's got the straps, we got the little side pieces, we got the little fly thing going on. Knees, I've got the little patchy things there. Again, I've got to weather them. The pants came with the ribbing. A little bit more weathering to get rid of some of the stitching, but overall, I'm really happy with them. I didn't really add anything to the back. I figured, why bother? They think they're going to look fine, you know, as it is. And yeah, I am feeling like I really have a costume now that I've got the pants. So we've got the pants, we've got the belt, we've got the shirt. We are almost there. The helmet is over there. I probably should have put it on. Next up are the rocket boots. They are drying as we speak. The first coat of primer. Then the spats, which I'm going to be working on this weekend. And a huge chunk is going to be done of this costume. Then I think the last thing I'm going to work on are the blasters, because I got something really special / tricky planned with those. So those are going to be last. But we're getting there. We're almost there. Well, if you like this video, how I did these pants, I'm actually signed up for some sewing lessons at a Joann Fabrics, because I need to know how to use that sewing machine better. My son is laughing because he's the one who panned this up.
Ask Miss Boynton.
I should ask your economic, what's that called now? Not economics.
Thanks.
Facts, that's right. Consumer science. But I need to take a sewing class. So, if you like this video, please click like and subscribe. We got a lot of videos coming out, and this way, if you subscribe, you will get a little notification. So please subscribe and like, and we'll see you back pretty soon. I've got a bunch of videos I just need to edit. And again, thanks all for watching. I really appreciate it.
Turn on post notifications to get notified every time he uploads a video.
As my son says, do that. Thank you.